Because now you're curious, right?
Yeah.
He is curious.
Yeah.
And
Well, that and it's a model of HP multifunction that I was not aware of.
Well,
It's pretty nice. Has a duplexer and everything.
Yeah. No, I've got. I'm still on one of their multifunction inkjets.
Mm.
all right, so welcome
this
back
is
to
finally
Multifunction
done.
Device Monthly. This is your host, Beaches, here with Night Owl and
Hello.
Root.
How you doing?
So today we're talking about HP and how their service support site is utter garbage.
It really is. It really, really is.
That's true. I don't think we're gonna find the service manual on their support site. Though.
No.
Usually have
No,
that.
probably not.
Anyway, so that sums it up for this week. This week on Monthly Printer Heaven.
Radio printer.
For radio printer. Oh man, that reminds me of the time that I accidentally labeled the live stream for the podcast as Radio Statler.
Did you keep it?
I think it's still there. I think if you go look at
That's
the
amazing.
list of like nobody watched it, but I mean that's pretty normal for the Radio Statler the podcast.
Radio Statler, the podcast.
Radio
The podcast
Statler, the
with
podcast.
no viewership.
Almost none. We have like one fan. I think it might be my mom. I don't know why.
To be fair,
Actually, it's not
be
my
fair,
mom. It is Mad Joe from IRC.
to be fair,
That's-
our podcast doesn't have any.
That's
viewers
not any
either,
better, really.
What do you
But
mean?
we're audio. So.
Yeah. I don't think that's a good metric there.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Looking at all. Why do we have 35 of these? Why has nobody stopped us? Oh God.
That's always the question.
I hit play all. That wasn't
Who
what
would
I
stop
wanted.
you? The internet
Wait.
police?
I mean,
They really should.
yes.
Excuse me. You're putting too much media out. You really need to stop.
I mean, you're taking up all the space from the cat videos, and we just can't.
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wait, what the
What
the crap is the HP Sprocket?
What?
All right, now you
I-
piqued my interest.
Okay, link.
We have 46 YouTube videos.
Why?
I don't know.
So it's
It's one of those pocket printers, right?
or something?
Pocket printers?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
they're
a.
for like. They're
It prints
Bluetooth,
little
you-
like
Paul-
2x3 photos from like your phone.
Actually,
It's the millennials Polaroid beaches.
let me tell you something that I'm saddened
That
by.
is like
It
the
is
exact
actually-
description I was trying to come up with.
It is actually really difficult to find somebody that will print a 1-to-1 ratio photo. So like Instagram photos and stuff. So you can find frames for them, but like if you want to get a 2x2 printed, like so far as I have seen, you can't like go get a 2" by 2" photo printed. That's like not a thing.
You have to find someone who still does medium format photography.
Beaches, you don't have to answer because I'm sure you have a very specific and perfectly worthwhile use for this. Why the hell do you want a 2x2 image printed?
That's the better question.
I take a lot of Instagram photos, and I think that 1:1 aspect ratio is actually really nice.
I will
Surely
grant
at
that
the
1x1 does have a
resolution-
certain charm to it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you could just get that photo paper that you can run through your desktop printer.
Right, so
print a bunch of them on one page.
Here's what I'm going to tell you about that.
Yeah.
I have one printer in the house. It is the
Yes.
one exception to my rule of not owning any goddamn fucking printers. It is a network multifunction device made by Brother. It prints in black
Okay.
and white.
Ah,
You have one high-yield cartridge. It will last for about 2 to 3 years, and then I will have to replace it.
At which point, you also have to replace the printer, because they will stop.
No, actually, not so far. They still... That's actually why I bought a Brother, is that they continue to make parts for it, and the device is rather well supported.
Yeah, Brother is kind of awesome with that. But...
Yeah, they do.
And there's also aftermarket too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But so I have the one printer. It does black and white. If I need color, I have to go to Staples or FedEx or Kinko's or wherever.
Beaches.
Someplace else.
Would you like me to VPN my printer to you?
How would that? Like, I join your VPN so that I can print in color?
Yeah, and then
I mean, that happen.
if you want to, you can make that happen.
The printouts in an envelope and mails them to you.
Do you really want me to be able to print whatever the fuck I want on your printer?
I could revoke your keys the second you start printing like stuff that I would find objectionable. But also, there's not much I find objectionable.
That's my point.
Okay.
It looks like I
mean, I would be tempted to do that, except I can't. I mean, actually, maybe I can.
I think you could probably connect to it.
Probably.
Oh no, my ISP does not allow any inbound connections.
Yeah, but it's not connecting to.
No, you get like a VPS or somewhere.
And
just
there.
You can bridge client networks.
Yeah. Well, no, when I was running my own VPN, I hosted it out of my home.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I used it specifically so that I could access my home server while I was on the road.
Yeah. So what you would basically do is just move that home gateway up to like, I don't know, if you can even get it like $250 a month, like VPS somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the only reason I even had it was that it was built into my firewall.
Oh. Yeah.
And I only have that firewall because they had some weird-ass promotion for a training course to get certified on that particular manufacturer's devices. And if you took it at a certain time, they gave you free hardware.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, okay. At the time, I was doing a lot of consulting for small businesses and that was a very popular option for their network security appliances and gateway devices.
If I can guess which vendor, will you tell me if I'm correct?
Sure.
Juniper.
Nope.
Really? Because I would have guessed that for small medium.
No.
I doubt it's Cisco. Because I don't
Nope.
think you're going to get a free...
Definitely not Cisco.
You're not going to get a free... any
No.
Connect.
You're way too high end.
Way too high end?
Yeah.
Viata?
Nope.
Is that still too high end? Because I'm probably not going to guess it if it's anything lower than that.
I actually do not recall what Viata costs.
I don't think
They're
Viata is
on the lower end.
like a Linux distro. Well, ViOS is a Linux distro, right?
No, so they have a Linux distro.
Well, it's more a question of what their hardware and support contracts cost.
Yeah, it's much lower than Juniper. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know anything
Is
below that.
it below 4 figures?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, that's what I mean by you're going too high end.
So it's. I don't think I'm going to be able to guess it then.
Was it DDWRT?
No. No, it was
Tomato?
Zero.
Still no. No, Sonic Wall.
Oh,
Okay,
God,
Sonic Wall.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Hey,
They're
for
alright, yeah.
serviceable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
No,
a
it
small
gets
home,
done.
for small
Right,
office,
for-
home office,
for-
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
It's
I mean
better
for
than-
a company that basically does not have in-house IT staff,
Yep.
does not want to spend a ton of money, it's actually not terrible.
Yeah,
No, it's
very
not.
true.
It's true.
It works pretty well. You can basically set it up and just leave it alone, and just occasionally review the logs.
Wow,
and,
reviewing the logs
get-
on your home stuff, you're a much better person than I am.
I am really bad at reviewing the logs on my home stuff, but
I mean, I never review the logs of my home stuff.
I used to like every few months, and that was when I discovered people trying to brute force the admin account on my home Linux server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The problem was that they were trying to brute force the login for the account named administrator.
Wait, over SSH?
No, I'm
Oh, okay.
honestly.
I've had people try administrator on SSH, which is the
Yeah.
funniest thing to see. Although
I
now
actually,
you can actually
I
sync
forget
into Windows boxes.
I forget what protocol they were trying to connect over, but I just go to.
It's so ridiculous.
I was like trying to troubleshoot some other problem I was having, so I pull up the logs to check them
And then
for
just,
like
you
the
see flood.
the error message that I get, or trying to figure. What was it? It was something to do with a teamed or a bridged network interface that was acting wonky, and so I was trying to figure out what was going wrong with it. So I pull up the logs, and I get like, for 3 days straight, someone had just been trying to brute force the login for an account named administrator, and I just was like, okay, cool, you keep doing that. I don't have fun.
Knock yourself out. So, I just found this out. I was trying to see because I could have sworn Viad at one point did also offer hardware. So I looked them up. Apparently, at one point they were bought by Brocade,
Huh.
and then that part of Brocade was acquired by AT&T. That I did not know. I learned something.
Yeah.
That was
How about that?
That was June of last year.
Oh wow.
Oh. I kind of forgot that Brocade existed.
A lot of people.
Yeah, everyone
do that.
does.
I don't
They're not
think
too
about
bad.
networking stuff very often, since I don't directly deal with much in regards to networking.
Oh, I'm terrible at it now. I haven't had to touch a rack in 5 years. So, don't. I just realized how that came out. No, a server rack. A cab,
I wasn't gonna go and make any breast jokes, but I'm glad that you took care of that for us.
I'm cutting
We
it
cannot
there.
trust.
I'm,
We cannot trust drunk beaches not to go there.
What, make,
That's true.
Make jokes about boobs?
Drunk Beaches is the wild card.
Yeah.
My wild card? I'm actually starting to sober up. That's a little sad.
Yeah, I know. I can feel
Can
it.
you
tell?
I can
Can you
feel it in
tell?
your
He's
energy
not slurring
building
as
here
much.
tonight.
He's not slurring as much.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where was I going? Oh, right.
I
Yeah. So
know.
my
Over.
networking knowledge is over. It's done. It's gone. Except for what I use for work, which is all VPNing stuff.
So it looks like I
Yeah.
did not keep it as Radio Statler, the podcast.
Oh,
Sorry,
Lame.
guys. We've
lame.
had some really good episode titles, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, yeah.
For April Fool's 2018, can you change the channel name to Radio Statler?
Maybe if you get me drunk enough and remind me, maybe.
You should totally do that. Also, why
I think it
with
was
a wireless
episode-
laser?
I think it was episode 9 though that was originally named as
What?
Radio Stapler.
I wonder if archive.org will tell.
Ah, yes, it is. Episode 9, 24-hour Asians, Radio Statler, the podcast. Description: all the news you need to know about offices and office supplies.
Back up. 24-hour Asians.
I don't fucking know, man.
Is that? Is that like an Asian on call kind of a thing?
I don't know. Somebody must have made some reference to it, and I thought it was funny enough to be the episode title. How does a selfie work? Episode 11. That's a good one. Which I think is really funny. If you go watch the Radio Statler panel from Hope 11?
Yes, it was Hope 11.
Yeah. They... Ooh.
They what? What?
Sorry.
Finish your sentence.
Side Pocket is talking at me. I don't understand
What?
this.
Use your words.
But so Johnny had somebody take a photo of us, and he was like, "What is like a selfie? But it's a group of people. Is that like a groupie?" But it's like, but we're not taking the photo ourselves. We're having somebody else take it, so it's not a selfie or anything related to a selfie. It's just a photo. It's just a photo at that point. What are you talking about?
Or a group photo if you want to be that specific.
Portrait?
That is terminology.
Portrait?
Portrait, I think, refers to an individual.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, for traditional painting,
Gut
certainly.
instinct tells me that, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
But
It's definitely not a
family
selfie or a
portrait.
nosy. Oh yeah.
Family portrait.
Yeah. Good
I mean,
call.
it's certainly it used to refer exclusively to an individual.
Mhm.
But at least in the age of commercial photography or cheap, accessible photography, became a little bit wider to be any relatively formal picture of a group of a person or persons.
Mm. Technology ruined things again.
Yep.
Those bastards.
Yeah.
Damn you, technology! We'll get you one day. So, are you sure about that model number, Brett?
How's that book you're reading, Beaches?
Sorry.
You're not sorry.
I got distracted. I opened up I opened up a tab that I wasn't intending to open.
Why did you do that?
I hit Control Tab. My
don't do
grandma died recently, so we have a shared photo album that's just photos of her and Grandpa. And there were some new ones added that I hadn't seen yet, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Right, so what was that model number again?
M281.
281.
Yeah.
Okay. Haha.
He found it. Mission success.
I
There you
think
go.
I actually found it.
That's impressive. I would expect it to be under the M277 because I think it's the same basic
Well,
model.
there's the 278, which was the basis for the 280 series, which was the basis for the 281 series.
Okay. Because the Cups driver is for the M277.
Right.
And that works fine. So
Yeah.
I guess in terms of firmware, they haven't changed a whole lot, which led me to think.
Yeah.
probably
It's hardware-wise, they are probably different.
similar,
But
how do you know?
oh look, they even published a MS17010 WannaCry vulnerability notice for it.
I'm not surprised. Let's take a look here.
So how
Let's
how
see
about
all the
Meltdown
wonderful
Inspector?
Wonderful things I can tone my printer with. Oh, it's for WannaCry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
what he
did
said.
just say WannaCry,
He
didn't I?
said
Oh,
WannaCry.
I wasn't.
And then I made it. I was
made
like,
it
so
up.
how about that Meltdown Inspector? That was my
Ah.
fault. It was definitely about WannaCry.
Yeah.
So there's links to specifically the WannaCry attack advisory, the user guide, and the page on their support site that lists all of the different available manuals. most of which are useless.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, they do have a meltdown inspector advisory.
Are you
For
shitting me?
printers?
For printers?
Here
He's
you
running
go.
an x86 based printer. Holy shit! All right, let's.
The
go.
future is now.
The future can go back where it was. All right, let's see.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got.
Digital signing of print. Okay, digital signing. Sure. Okay, that's x86. Okay, so it doesn't affect explicitly printers. Oh wait! Oh shit! Wait! The following HP
ARM
print
processor.
devices use x86 and ARM processors. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I'm
LaserJet Enterprise, LaserJet Enterprise Pre-Future Smart, LaserJet Pro,
LaserJet Pro, which is what I have. Holy shit!
LaserJet.
The
Shit.
future is now.
Shit.
Now the real question is have you checked your television for
Check Appendix
vulnerabilities
A.
yet?
Oh, we don't have any smart TVs, thankfully.
Oh, you haven't bought a new TV recently, then I take.
I have not.
Because they're like all smart TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
and
you'll end up in the boat where I was like, well, the one that's not smart has 2 HDMI ports, but for $20 more, I get 3 HDMI ports. But it's smart. Yeah, all right, that's fine. I need that third
Nope.
HDMI port.
Nope. I will make do with one HDMI port, if
Oh.
that's what it takes to get a new not smart TV.
But I need all the HDMI ports. I have a very
You
very much
could just
growing-
not hook it up to your Wi-Fi.
sure. Yeah, okay.
Where's the fun in that?
Come on, you only live once.
Yeah.
Where's your sense of
Hashtag YOLO.
adventure?
Brent, I've got bad news for you.
What?
Oh god.
Your printer is vulnerable to meltdown and/or
Yeah,
Spectre.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yes!
it's the funniest thing. I mean, I'm not too worried about it because, like, I treat printers as the bullshit they are, anyways. But still, who
Yeah.
makes a fucking printer with an x86 and/or ARM chip?
I mean,
Why would you do
HP apparently.
that? Well, it's self-evident, of course.
I mean, like
Ooh.
that just
Hey.
means that they bought a bunch of old like Pentium 4s to run
I
the
think
printer as opposed to using.
I think my
Arduinos
printer
or
is
something.
not on the list of vulnerable devices.
There you go. You're set.
Wait, hold on. This is problematic. I'm
What?
now.
Oh, you're checking with your brother?
Yeah. It's a network device. How fucked am I?
I mean, mine's a network device. And it does actually have an active internet connection.
You actually have your printer like actually on the internet?
Yeah. Sort of.
Sorta.
HP has
no-
a thing where you can set up remote printing.
Oh yeah, the smart printer, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're still
Or
still
whatever they call
matted and/or firewalled.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And my ISP doesn't allow inbound connections and
Right,
et cetera,
right.
et cetera.
That too. But yeah, Beaches, it's not like he's running a printer in the
Oh.
DMZ or something.
Well, like
Right.
it has a public. Like so, if I took my
My
printer,
PlayStation is in the DMZ.
if I took my printer and hooked it into the Hope network, it would legitimately get an IP address that is public facing with no NAT or firewall,
Well, yeah.
which would be hella amusing to me.
If you have IPv6, you can do that right now. What are you on, Cox?
No, I'm not on Cox.
Comcast?
Comcast.
Ah, same difference.
It's Comcastic.
Yes.
But yeah, Comcast. So Comcast
By
does dual stack.
Comcastic, we mean terrible, but yes.
Right. But yeah, they do dual stack. So you could totally put your printer on the internet
Yep.
if it can do IPv6.
I think it might. I don't think it does. I think it does IPv4.
It's a shame.
Shit, now I have to check.
I love how this, like, we've spent probably a good solid cumulative 30 minutes talking about printers. So
It's
far.
interesting.
It is interesting. It's just not what I was expecting to talk about on a Saturday night.
Let's see. Basic user's guide, advanced user's guide, software
What IP
user's
address
guide,
did I?
Safety and
Yes.
legal, network user's guide.
I think I need to tweet that my printer's vulnerable.
If you please do, I will retweet
You
that,
do that,
so
yes.
fast. So
Alright.
fast. I don't see anything under the Brother Solutions Center saying that my shit is vulnerable.
Well, that's good.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
You know what though? It runs an ARM9 200 megahertz processor.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Versions of ARM processors.
Well, the bad news is my network printer only does IPv4.
How is that bad news? That gives you more reason to not worry.
Well, true. On the other hand, I actually was kind of amused by the idea of being able to put it on the internet. I mean, it's a terrible idea, but still. It would be amusing to do, at least for hope. Actually, I really wish I could figure out how to permanently disable the wireless chip in here. Without, like, advanced
I think
surgery.
I'm vulnerable, guys.
Nice.
So, assuming that an ARM9 and an ARM Cortex A9,
They're not at all the same.
they're not the same?
I don't think so.
No. It's 0.8 gigahertz to 2 gigahertz. It's not. Because this one is 200 megahertz.
Yeah.
So it's too... These ones are too fast, guys.
Yeah, the ARM9 is a 32-bit RISC processor. They stopped making them in 2006.
But at least Risk isn't Vuln.
Yeah.
Not for what I've been seeing, anyways. I haven't seen anything that says they are.
Yeah, but all of the Cortex series were the next generation after the 9.
Hmm. Wasn't there talk about reviving Risk?
Well, I mean, technically, ARM still does. That's what ARM is.
Oh, it's just a revamped spec of it or something?
Well, no, ARM is the RISC development company. That's what
No
the
shit.
R in ARM is for.
Oh.
What is the
Yeah.
A for?
I think it's for advanced.
What is that?
It's
Advanced
advanced RISC
RISC?
machines.
Oh.
Ooh.
Advanced Persistent Risk.
APR?
Yeah, there you go.
What am I doing?
Yeah, so ARM9 is part of the Classic series that goes from ARM7 to ARM11. And then the Cortex comes in after that. The first Cortex being the Cortex M3, which was introduced in 2004 as they were getting ready to phase out the ARM9 and ARM10 series.
Yeah. So you're right. It is currently Advanced Risk Machine, originally Acorn Risk Machine.
Yes.
Acorn.
Got it. I've seen
Yep,
that, but I'm too young to remember that.
No. Acorn was their name in England.
Oh, okay.
So the Acorn BBC Micro,
Mm-hmm.
vaguely famous 1980s PC for people from England who were around at the time. I mean, that was their version of like the Commodore PET and all of those early to mid 80s first generation of home computers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. They still have a bit of a following as Acorn in England.
Did not know that.
Yeah. But
We are
you
learning all
don't
sorts of wonderful
see them.
things.
You don't see them outside of England, really, because
Sure.
I suspect it may actually have something to do with some of those really funky old engineering workarounds where they would like take clock speed from the mains power.
Mm-hmm.
Like old television sets used to do this. Their clock speed was actually set in accordance with the frequency of the electrical power they were getting from the wall socket.
Yes, actually, some of them that are in use. I remember there was a hack for one of the Game Boys. It was after the Game Boy Advance, but I think before the DS. Maybe, no, it was. I think it was one of the original DSs, where you could essentially deliver more power to the CPU, and your games would speed up.
Yeah. Although in this case it was a little bit different, but it was that the refresh rate of the screen was, or that there was no internal clock.
Yeah.
For the CRT, it was driven entirely by the cycle rate of the AC power that you were getting from the wall, or whatever your power source was. So, if you move between different countries' electrical grids, it would do all sorts of weird things with the timing of the CRT.
Nice. Wait, CRT or RTC?
CRT, cathode ray tube.
The display. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because the refresh rate was basically 50% of the cycle rate of the power. So in the US, that's normally 60 hertz.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is what we get from the wall.
But in Europe, it's 50, isn't it?
UK and Europe, it's 75, I thought.
Yeah.
Is it 75? I thought it was 50.
Yeah, to which?
In
What am I
England, I
thinking of
think
that's
it's
50?
somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Now I have to. I used to know this.
Hour 15.
They type.
Fingers type, but not what the brain wants. Megahertz.
No, I don't need the calculations.
The utility frequency, power line frequency, American English, or mains frequency, British English, is the nominal frequency of the oscillations of alternating current in an electrical power grid transmitted by the power station to the end user. That is what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
In large parts of the world, this is 50 hertz, although in the Americas and parts of Asia, it is typically 60 hertz. Current usage by country and region is given in the list of mains power around the world.
There we go.
There you go. Beaches, can we make you like a professional wrestler like belt that says Dr. Wizard on it?
You can do whatever you want.
But are you
the
gonna
question
wear it
is
if we did
why? Why would you make that?
Because you knew the 50 hertz right off the top of your head.
I mean, that
And I
is
feel
Okay,
that is-
all right.
that belt.
Let
And
me
until
tell you.
someone can best you.
Let me tell you
in-
why I know that it was 50 hertz.
No,
and
no,
not
no!
60
Don't ruin
hertz.
the magic.
Okay. Are you sure?
You
Because
can-
it's
you can
interesting.
tell us. You can
I will
tell us.
tell you.
Tell
I will
us.
tell you. Okay. So, when filming with an American camera
Mhm.
in Europe,
Yep.
American cameras, the lighting, if American cameras filming in America, the lighting does not flicker, and the reason why is that the frame rate is 60 frames per second, and the light is 50 hertz. Or
Sure.
60 hertz, right? So the frame rate...
60
and the
or
camera-
120.
Yeah, it's 60. So, yeah, your frequency for your electric and the frequency that you're recording are the same. But if you take your American phone or camera or whatever, recording at 60 frames per second to a European country, the lights will flicker vaguely.
Right.
And the reason why is because
They're out of sync.
Because the UK is darker.
Yeah, no, it's not because the UK is darker. It flickers because the electric
The cycles
is,
don't match
is
up, yeah.
going 50 hertz instead of 60 hertz. And so the
Yeah.
frame rate doesn't align.
Yep.
Learning all sorts of interesting things.
Oh yeah. Fascinating stuff. Really fucking weird, but fascinating stuff.
I don't see
My favorite
anything
is
that
when-
runs at 75 hertz, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, which is weird that it's a standard power option, refresh rate on monitors.
Well, it didn't used to be.
True.
Really, anything over 60 really only became an option fairly recently, and usually only with the newer generations of LCD and LED displays.
Yeah. That's a good point. That does coincide with how my memory is sort of reassembling it.
Yeah,
That's
because I mean,
tempting too, I guess.
CRTs almost never went above 60 hertz unless you were doing some really funky stuff with microcontrollers and like custom built circuits. Again, it's one of those things where they're still taking the clock rate from their
Right,
power
right.
source, and CRTs. There wasn't really a compelling technology that required a higher refresh rate at the time, especially considering that most computers at the time struggled to provide 60 frames per second.
Mhm.
Now with everything, this is the other thing that drives me crazy. I cannot find a TV anymore that does not do 3D.
What?
Well,
They all want to be like 3D capable.
3D like with the glasses? 3D.
Yeah,
Where the fuck
Why-
are you buying your televisions?
but also,
Well,
why
I
is-
haven't
why is
bought
that
a television.
undesirable for you?
it is extremely undesirable for me.
That's so weird.
Yeah, but it's... Well, I mean, it's the same thing as, like, try finding a non-smart TV.
I mean, that
Well,
one
right,
would be
yeah.
hard. But, like, I don't know.
But
it's-
almost all of the smart TVs also now want to be 3D capable.
It's
which
so
means
weird
that
because
I guess
Even
Pretty much
even if
why-
they aren't, even if that isn't actually activated or used,
Mm-hmm.
that still means that that the panel's native refresh rate is 120 hertz,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine for most people. It is really bad for me.
Oh, okay.
It's the same reason why I remove any fluorescent lighting from my home and various other things.
Right. I think I understand.
Because I can actually see close to 120 hertz refresh.
Yeah.
So for me, watching something on one of those TVs, even if the 3D option isn't being used, looks like watching one of those movies from like 1900
Yeah.
with the hand crank cameras, where the film randomly speeds up and slows down.
Yeah.
That's what I see on the television, even if I'm watching something that was just made.
Excuse me. What's a refresh rate that's usually comfortable for you? Like a 140, 160? I don't know what they have on the market.
60 hertz and below is where I'm.
Oh, below. Okay.
Yeah. Like 30, 32, all the old standard film formats, I've never had a problem. It's when you get above 60 hertz that I start.
So basically, you need to downclock the TV.
Yeah.
Got it. Problem solved.
Yep.
That's what we
Power
do.
Depper on it.
That's what we do on this podcast. Solve problems. Hey, Side Pocket, you came. Can you hear us?
Yes. Hey, is everything okay there?
You're a little bit.
Little stuttery, a little
yeah.
shaky, a little spotty, but we can see you.
Okay. 1 second. Let me try this.
Look at
That's
those
not helping.
beautiful pins. Is that a GNU? That's a Free Software Foundation pin. That's a beautiful pin right there.
Yeah.
What's your other pin that's hiding?
I had more, but some of them are on my lab coat. I have a MakerShare one on here. Social media website by the Make people, and this was from.
Is that Hope number 6?
What, 2433? Was it Hope number 6? That's well before my time. Going to Hope, I wouldn't know.
Well, I think Hope 6 was the one that was the prisoner theme.
Oh no, we can't hear him.
Side Pocket, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. It's really sad.
You jerk.
It's not. He's not a jerk. He's having technical difficulties. Why are you being a jerk to him? We all have technical difficulties sometime.
Did you guys know that 2433 in hex is $3?
Wait, what? One more time?
What?
It's the USD symbol and then the number 3.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I really need to.
We can kind of hear him.
Okay, now we can hear you again. Can you hear us, Side Pocket? Oh.
I can kind of hear him.
Well, we
Turning
could
into
for
a
a
He
second.
he looks frozen to me.
Yeah.
I just see his thumb.
Yeah.
Yep. He's turning into Batman.
Batman.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
he's covering half his face.
All right, now he's moving again.
But we can't hear him. I can't hear him.
I can't hear him
can't hear
either.
Okay, so Hope number 6 did have a theme based on The Prisoner.
The Prisoner?
Yes, the old TV show.
Oh, okay. Got it. That is...
So that pin, that big pin he's wearing there, was the badge that year.
Got it.
Wait, they did a pin as the badge?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The big button that he's wearing there with the red stripes.
I
That
can
thing.
see my face in the reflection on the pin. Quick, enhance! Enhance! Turn 90 degrees!
Now rotate 180. Now give us a view of the other side of the room.
I think
Now-
he can maybe hear us? I don't know. He
Give us
can
I
hear
can hear you.
Inside
us.
the trunk of that car.
Now go inside the trunk of that car. Now open that box. Sir, this is a photograph. I don't care. Do it.
Oh man,
Now
like
sit
that.
down. Not there. There.
That one time that it zoomed in. Well,
Not
I think
here,
it was
here.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it in Blade Runner where they're like, okay, and now rotate the camera by like 20 degrees. Oh, there it is. You're like, what the fuck? That's not how
The
cameras
original
work.
Blade Runner? I don't think it was in that.
No.
I thought it
That would
was.
have been like no. They do like an image enhancement thing,
Yeah.
whereas it's actually, to be fair, it's kind of accurate. It's like it fills in some mixing pixels, but it's not like crystal perfect. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's believable, you know, and that's
Also,
pretty good
wasn't it-
for...
It's been a
Also,
while.
wasn't
I
it
just.
recovering the visual
Yeah,
data
yeah,
from
something
a
like that.
destroyed Nexus series?
Was it? You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I just
maybe.
I
think
just
so.
read Do Androids Dream Electric
Ah.
Sheep,
Oh,
and I
you gotta
need
see it.
to rewatch. I have the director's cut, sitting and waiting. I just need enough time. Once I finish all of Seinfeld, then I will watch it.
Can we do one of those like joint movie watching websites and just all watch Blade Runner? That'd be fantastic.
I'd have to get a copy.
I'm sure I can make that.
We can provide. I think I got my copy on Blu-ray for $5 at Walmart. So
There you go.
Okay.
We have many multitude
We got
ways
options.
of making that happen.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Wow.
it's anytime that I've bought movies, I've had other priorities for.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's why I have like 4 copies of Hackers.
Oh gosh, because 4 times the Gibson is.
the best.
Well, no,
Gibson,
no. I have
That's-
a VHS copy. I have a DVD copy. I have a Blu-ray copy, and then I have the anniversary edition Blu-ray.
And then once you get a 5th copy, they become they come together and form the Mega Gibson.
Right.
I thought you were gonna make an Exodia joke, but maybe that's just
No.
me.
No.
Am I the only person that watches Yu-Gi-Oh here?
Yes.
You should feel
I
lucky.
think you might be. I think you might be.
I used to watch it maybe over a decade ago when it was cool and interesting to watch Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah.
It's fun to
That's
make
for-
jokes about, but otherwise it's kind of a terrible show.
Right. Right.
Yep, mm-hmm. Yep.
I can't remember when my first hope was.
You can't remember? Or are we gonna talk about our first hopes?
We could.
Can.
We can. Let's do that.
You just mentioned Hope 6, and I was like, I know it definitely wasn't that one.
All right. So, do you remember what year your first hope was?
No, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm not going to recount it on air because it's
So,
a lot of
was it-
personal information to.
So it was
recount.
after Hope 6, though.
It was after Hope 6. I have it narrowed down to either 8 or 9.
So do you remember who the keynote speaker was?
No, because I never go to the keynotes.
Yeah, me neither.
Do you remember anything about the artwork?
That's a good
No.
question. Because I think
No.
Hope 9 had the dildo tree.
I believe it did.
Yeah.
My first hope, I remember there being a dance party, but that doesn't narrow it down either.
That does not narrow that down at all.
Yeah, I mean, those have been happening since at least the last
Yeah.
one, if not
Yeah,
earlier.
exactly.
Oh, hey.
Exactly.
Talking about things at Hope, I'm going to pencil you guys in for 26 o'clock. I'm just doing
Yeah.
that, okay?
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
2 hours from 2 a.m., right? So 2
Yep.
hours after 2 a.m. So
Yeah.
at 2 a.m. for
2
2
a.m.,
hours.
4 a.m.
Okay.
each time.
You are scheduled. Consider it done.
Awesome.
Wait, are you talking to Night Owl or both of us?
Tonight, Al, you don't have anything to do with
Okay.
26 o'clock.
I mean, you could be one of our guests.
You could,
If you
that's
want to.
up to Night Owl. If you,
I could bring booze.
That awesome.
yeah, that's
You're on the schedule.
There you go.
Both nights.
And then I'm making an assumption that we're going to be doing
We are not doing the cheese hour again.
What, the cheese hour? Did we do a cheese hour? I thought it was bacon.
Was it?
I thought it was bacon because Nick God
I was
always
busy
recounts the
last time, I
story. Nick God always recounts the story of giving his Visa card to a random stranger and instructing them to get bacon and a electric skillet. And then they cooked them, and to get the sizzling bacon sound, they took the microphones that we had bought from B&H and brought it down towards it. And then at the end of the conference, apparently returned the microphones that smelled like bacon to B&H, which is really awful because B&H is the most Jewish store that I am aware of.
It's run by extraordinarily Orthodox Jews.
It is so Orthodox Jewish that they closed the website during the Sabbath.
At first,
They do.
You cannot make any orders on the Sabbath from the website, even though
I thought you meant
that
like
is
they shut the web server down.
No.
Okay.
Well,
I don't
no,
think
they have a page that goes up on the Sabbath that says we are closed for the
Yeah,
Sabbath.
That's pretty cool.
Go away.
So
We got
instead
a
of
mad
our server
props.
is not unavailable, it just has a landing page that says, sorry, you can't see anything. It's the Sabbath.
Right.
Yeah.
That
They
is-
just have
that
like
is
a
pretty
we'll be open
Orthodox
tomorrow.
Jewish. And here I thought you were like about to make some sort of like epithetical slur,
No.
but no,
No.
you mean literally
They are
Orthodox
literally
Jewish, and
Orthodox
bacon would be
Jewish.
absolutely a slap in their face. Wow.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel bad.
No,
I
it's-
wasn't even there.
There-
I feel bad.
No, it's a thing.
Man. So are you trying to top that by finding a rental place that's run by Hindus
No.
and then cooking ground
Good
beef?
mistake. No. We're not going to do that again, period.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's
So you learned
technically it's not
you
a
lived and
rental
learned.
place.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's not a rental place. You buy it, and then you return it.
Uh-huh.
We,
I see.
We really need to stop doing that.
We're getting better about not doing that.
Well,
Hi,
it's
I
every,
bought
every,
these
it's
mics
every
and they
year.
smell like
Every
bacon.
year, we
I'd like to
say
return them.
this is the last time that we're ever doing this, and then we do it again.
well,
Should
so
this be stricken from the record? Is this,
no,
is this
it's
gonna hurt your rep?
we've talked about this. I'm pretty sure at the panel we talked about. Oh, that's the other
Okay.
thing. Johnny and people are like, "Oh, we should do another panel." I'm like, "Do people really want to hear us do another panel?" And I don't know. So I guess I'm gonna put in the stuff to do another panel.
Submit to the CFP.
I'll submit it and see what we get. I don't
I'm
know.
actually trying to figure out what I'm going to submit this year, because
Well, you had some
I-
fun and exciting stuff that you shared with Johnny. Is that going to be something that can come to fruition by the time Hope comes around?
exciting stuff I shared with Johnny.
Yeah, last podcast. It was one of the. It's that weird key.
Oh, the
Yeah, you
the
found.
list, or refining the TSA keys.
Yeah.
It's I don't know that that's enough to sustain an entire talk.
That's fair, honestly. But yeah.
I don't think I could fill 45 minutes to an hour talking about just the small refinements that we've and advances that we've made over what we released 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, every Hope grows a ton with a bunch of new people. So there's probably
That's
plenty
true.
of people that didn't see the original Top.
That's true, and I mean we could
Rehash
could-
it a little bit, yeah.
Well, except that they
Recap
usually,
and
I
everything,
think,
but
they
it's-
don't like you doing that so much.
Right.
Yeah.
They usually want to do stuff that's original that hasn't been done anyplace else before.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then again, how many?
I'm sure we could fit that into a larger panel
Yeah.
or a larger talk about something else lock related.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. There you go.
It's
Because
just
I
I
was-
don't have any new real research type stuff that I can release this year.
In long form. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you think about it,
Um,
like every Hope, there's an intro to lockpicking and like an intro to social engineering thing. every single.
Yeah, yeah.
So like,
Well, so like some of them
What I
are
was-
popular enough, and like
Yeah.
it's not an intro to social engineering, right? It's the social engineering panel.
well, there's the panel, and then usually
Right, but
there's
usually
almost always a
someone
talk that
always ends up
introduces-
doing something on like the essentials of social engineering.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a topic though that there's a lot of different ways to present it, and you know, every time it's a different person doing it.
And it does always fill the room, so I'll grant that. But
Yeah, and I mean, similar thing with the. I mean, there's no real like set beginner or set lock research
Mhm.
talk that happens every time. I mean, there's Deviant almost always submits something, but he's always got something new.
yeah,
Mm.
And then usually he submits a bunch of other things featuring various Locksport people. But that's, again, all new and different stuff. But I
Speaking
was
of-
playing...
sorry, I'll wait.
Yeah. Sorry, but I just wanted to gauge people's reaction on an idea I was kicking around of doing a talk on sort of DIY tips and techniques and tools for Locksport.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like, here's how, you know, you get a $5 worth of files, a cheap power drill, and here's how you can make your own security pins. You know, here's how to make your own keys when you're building a new lock if you don't have access to a key machine.
mm-hmm.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, and while I can't say that that's never been talked about at Hope, it's definitely in the minority. It's been a long time, I think, since they had a talk related to that.
Yeah.
The DIY aspect of it. So yeah, by all means, I would definitely go to
That
that.
would be a good submission. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Work on that then.
what was I going to say?
It's always the question.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, right, I remember. So I've been trying to track down this talk, and I can't even remember which con it was, but I know at one point Deviant Olem gave a talk. A big chunk of that talk was about like incentivizing employees to report, you know, abnormal behavior and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember which talk and which con that was?
I do not. I remember the talk you're
Yeah,
referring to,
yeah.
but I don't.
I can't remember what it was on.
Do you know what you maybe could do?
What's that?
Archive.org, I
Uh-huh.
think, has an archive of all of the talks that have been presented so far.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, also,
I mean, they're on YouTube and stuff.
I mean,
too.
Yeah.
Hope has its own YouTube channel, and Deviant has his own. A better option would be Deviant has his own YouTube channel where he has
Okay.
copies of almost all of his talks.
The best option would be just asking Deviant personally.
Yes, that would also
That-
work.
That would be, yes.
That would also work.
I bug that poor guy about so much.
Oh,
But he's such a
wow.
good wealth of information, and he's like always super glad to share it. So props to him.
So archive.org and searching for Deviant Olem comes out with a shitload of stuff. This is great.
I believe it. Yeah, let's take a look here.
That actually reminds me that I need to look at actually doing. I wanted to do Radio Statler. I wanted to start uploading the audio archives from Radio Statler to
Finally.
archive.org. Well, I've been wanting to do it for 2 years. I'm just really fucking lazy. Yeah, I'm not actually sure how I do that.
Well,
Ooh, job opportunities of the Internet Archive. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
They're all in San Fran, though.
That would
Yeah.
not be cool. You can tell, like, you can tell I'm like super diehard East Coast. Cause like, oh, it's on the West Coast. No, forget about it.
Well, I don't even want to consider how much it would cost me to.
Oh, it's super high cost of living. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent,
Yes.
check out this page. I suspect you may be thinking of his talk from Shaka Khan 5.
Maybe. Let's take a look.
Oh, there's just an upload button.
What?
There's just an upload button. Fuck me. God damn. Thank you for your interest in the Internet Archive. We would love to host your digital artifacts. In order to ask this page, you need to log into our website. Okay? I want to log in. I'm going to do something very dangerous. I'm going to unlock my password vault while I'm recording my screen. It's okay though.
Nothing
Theoretically,
dangerous
it's
about
only
that.
It's only.
Yeah, maybe it's that talk. I feel like it was.
You can now for all of our listeners. Yes, I did in fact just fat finger my password.
Wait, I wasn't watching. Did you show it on screen? To see
No,
He's not screen sharing with
I'm not
us.
screen sharing with you. The only thing that is actually sharing is the Hangouts window. But
Okay.
the audio is all being captured, and apparently Windows generic sounds are still going. So the "Badoo, you fucked up your password" plainly audible for everybody
I
and their mom.
feel like everyone could have just passed that off as a general error sound until you actually mentioned something.
Yeah.
Well, I was explaining what the error was. It doesn't matter,
got it.
right? Oh no, he fucked up his password. That's gonna tell me what his password is. That's not how that works.
No, but they could correlate that with the keystrokes. Remember, there are attacks now where with like an 80 to 89% accuracy,
They can figure out
Predict the
what
keystroke.
keystrokes I'm typing based
on
the
audio.
audio
Yeah,
of which keys I'm typing.
yeah, we talked about it
Yeah.
on my show. I mean,
What the fuck?
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
How does that even?
It's like the it's
I'm
It's
done.
like the acoustic attacks where they were
Fuck it, I'm
doing like
done.
yeah, I know.
I'm done.
I know.
I'm
Yeah, there's
done.
also
I'm
the
gonna go
thing
be a
where-
farmer. I'm gonna buy a couple of acres of land, get a couple of donkeys. I'm fucking done. This is
There's
bullshit.
also that thing
I even
that
came
the
up with a term
IEEE
for it.
published, something with being able to recover audio from silent video files by like watching the vibrations of
Oh, I did hear about that.
tinfoil and crap.
Yeah, done. I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
call it-
fucking done.
I call it acoustic key logging on the show because it's catchy, right?
Yeah.
I
No,
talked
it-
about that in S1E2, S1E21, and S1E19.
All right.
So I can.
Oh, I don't have my archive.org account logged in, or not, whatever. But
Well, that's your problem right there.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
already. I'm not already logged in, but I don't remember. Like, I'm pretty sure I have an account, but I don't have it.
Hold on a sec.
I forgot my password. Yeah, I definitely forgot my password. I'm just gonna resend it. Done. 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 Internet Archive. Reset my password. All right.
Well. I'll be back in a second.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
To get a drink refill and to get some paper towels so I can change the coil on my vaporizer.
Okay.
I've taken to using a bandana for that.
I'm gonna go with 5 words. Generate password. There, that works. Lord. No, I don't want to save that. Thank you.
You know what I want to try sometime?
What?
Mescaline?
I want to see how. Oh, holy crap! You're back. I want to see how well Vanak freaking still works.
That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, the traditional methods were all built around CRTs, which
Yeah, strictly analog.
obviously had a much easier time.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd be happy if I could just pick up anything, but so I'm reading through Necronomicon, and there's a scene where
Oh yes,
this guy does the Vanak in it. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
uploader requires Flash 9 or higher. Ensures you do not have Flash installed or have it disabled. Get the current Flash version.
Wait, this is on archive.org?
Yeah. Oh, here. Prefer to not use Flash? Use our alternate non-Flash upload solution by doing the following. Fill out your information below. Hit the Share My Files blue button at the bottom. That will now take you to our full-featured item editor where you can upload the file.
I'd make a joke here about archivists and their love of old technology, but I respect archive.org too much.
That's fair. Alright, I will be right back.
I think I'm the next to go.
Presumably.
We're
Yeah, no, it's a so for lack of anything better, I'm going to talk about my vaporizer.
Sounds good. What do you have? What do you use?
Got a Kanger top box.
Okay.
It's not necessarily the best thing in the world, but
No, I've heard good things.
yeah. Well, it was recommended to me by Steve Rogan and Waxwing and a couple of other people who have been vaping with mods long enough that I trust them about this sort of thing. But what happened was, while I was traveling over the holidays, my old green smoke system finally gave up the ghost. And so I was out in like suburban Maryland, 9 o'clock, a couple days before Christmas, and I had to get a new vaporizer. And luckily, the place we stopped for dinner happened to have a vape shop right next door.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in after, while we were on the train on the way down, polling a couple of people that I knew over Twitter about what I should get. And this store happened to have exactly what they had recommended.
Nice.
More or less. The only drawback to it is that I haven't really laid in much in the way of spare supplies.
So your rings are probably on their way out.
Yeah, well, I mean, the O-rings are mostly okay. It's more that the coils are only supposed to last around a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on usage and
Sure, yeah.
various other things, but generally they say that like your coil will average about one week or so, at least without like a thorough cleaning.
Right.
And I haven't done all of that, so I mean, this is my last bottle of juice.
Oh, wait. I think we might get it from the same place. No, we don't. I got mine from Word.
That was the store that I randomly dropped into at like 9 o'clock at night in suburban Maryland.
9 o'clock at night in suburban Maryland is not the place I would expect to find a vape shop open.
Hey,
But
yeah.
you lucked out. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So I got really lucky with the shop. The staff were great, very helpful. Uh, got me all set up in, one go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I kind of wish that place was local to me because I'd happily shop there all the time. The trick now is, the places near me don't carry any of this stuff.
Right.
So I've either got to go across town, or I have to order it from somewhere, and that requires both more money and more
Time.
planning than
Yeah.
that I'm really putting into it at the moment.
Sure. Yeah, I've been for a while now. I've been using a Vaporfly 150 TC, which is, I mean, it's nice. It's really nice. It's probably more money than I should have spent,
Well,
but I mean, it lasts, so that's nice. And usually what I have in there is now they call it American Spirit. It's from Word Up E6. They call it American Spirit, but it tastes nothing like American Spirit because it's
right.
it's impossible. Yeah, but it's close enough. Hey, he's back. Hi.
Haha.
He's frozen. Oh nope, there we go. Can't hear you. Are you muted again?
Or I'm not talking.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I hate how Hangouts does that, like the noise gate. I mean,
Does
I
it?
love it and I hate it.
Who is this guy?
Who's what guy?
Who's what now?
Who to what now?
I have somebody saying that they appreciate the podcasts.
Oh, well, there you go.
What? That's madness.
Yeah. Just gonna say, even though I'm uncool for never participating or even making it out to Hope, I'm extra glad the podcasts are still going on. Keep on. I'm gonna love that. I don't know who
Yeah.
the fuck this guy is, but I appreciate it. This guy's cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Wait.
Hmm.
Wait a second. This guy looks familiar.
Is it a Nigerian prince?
No.
Your bank information?
No, I know.
Are you
we
sure?
have old photos. I think the last time he went was Hope number 9.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
I think he went Hope number 9, which was my first Hope, coincidentally.
What?
Yeah, Hope number 9 was my first Hope.
Ah.
What?
Oh yeah, we never finished that.
No, we never finished that discussion.
Yeah. Brent,
So
you
mine
had
was-
started and you never got around to telling us which one.
I
Well, because he
don't
doesn't
know.
remember.
Yeah.
He was too
Can't
drunk.
remember.
No.
Surprisingly, no. Actually, the first
Really?
one I was pretty sober. I just have a terrible memory.
That's fair.
Do you remember
Yeah.
roughly how many Hopes you've been to since then?
All of them, I think. All
Well,
of them.
Well, okay, all right.
Oh,
all right,
like
all right.
like the number of? No, I don't.
Yes.
I don't remember how many.
Okay, so all right.
I've tried approaching this logically
Now-
and pragmatically, and I can't figure it out. So
logically,
I don't think...
logically and pragmatically.
what do you remember about the first Hope that you went to?
Well, okay. Before
Oh, the badge.
that,
Let's see if I can remember the badge. That'll help.
Yeah.
A,
that
do you
would-
still have all your badges? Because that would actually be a huge help.
I don't know if I have that badge still,
B,
but it was
do you remember what you did before or after that Hope?
no.
Man, I didn't think I'd ever
I
meet somebody
mostly
with a
stayed by
worse
myself,
memory than
so-
me. But
Yeah.
Jesus
No, it's
fucking
no,
Christ,
it's bad.
dude.
It's bad. I have a terrible memory. I know.
Like, I remember my first Hope. I remember that it was number 9 because I still have the badge. And I remember it because I spent the entire time pretty much chained up to a computer at Radio Statler, editing all the audio.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? I had a fun time, and obviously I keep
True.
coming back. So
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think
like,
you
do
get
what
that
you
to
love.
win.
I don't-
Now,
Yeah. I get it.
what else do we got?
Okay, so my first hope, the badge was a spheroid, not a spheroid, like an ovaloid kind of shape, and it was a PCB.
Was it?
Ah.
Did it have a
It had the
vulture on it?
RFID
Round?
stuff.
Round?
Yeah, it was
Round
like it was like rounded
PCB?
out, round PCB.
That
it had, like, the
was
RFID
that was the
stuff.
Next Hope,
Yeah.
because the Last Hope had a tombstone shape.
Yep.
Got it.
Give me a second, I'll get my badge collection out.
He's just gonna whip that out for us real quick.
Gentlemen, we just scienced the shit out of that. I hope you're all happy.
That is. Did you hear him groaning and grunting? That was marvelous. Let me tell you. Oh, that reminds me. I need to.
Yeah, Shmoocon.
I've
Shmoocon.
wanted to try to do ShmooCon this year, just LobbyCon at ShmooCon, and then I didn't.
See, that's Hope 11.
Yeah, I have 2 Hope 11 badges.
Oh wait, sorry, I'm not.
Here we go. Here's my bundle of Hope badges.
All right.
Hope 11.
Yep. Yep.
Wait, hold on. Show that again. Well, that's not Hope 11.
Oh no, that's Hope 10. Sorry.
Yeah.
The one with the X's on it is Hope 10.
Yes, these are Hope 10. I ended up with a bunch of extras, so.
That reminds me, I actually had asked you if you had any spare extra ones that you were willing to part with.
Oh, for Hope 10?
Yeah, for Hope 10.
Oh.
If you would be willing. I don't know.
Yeah, I could probably spare one.
You don't have to.
What do you want? Attendee?
Attendee's fine. Whatever you feel like partying with, I don't care. I have all of my badges.
I can spare a Hope 10 attendee.
Okay.
Because
I actually want to sew it onto something, but I also don't want to remove it from my wall of
Right.
badges.
Yeah, this is my Hope 11.
Mm-hmm.
You actually got a crew one. That's nice.
Yeah, this is the volunteer tag from Hope 11, Hope 10.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
Yep.
Hope number 9.
Nice.
The Next Hope.
Yep, that's it. That's it, right there.
Yep. And there's my volunteer badge.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And there is the Last Hope.
Okay.
I actually have the badge for the Last Hope, even though I never went, because I bought a T-shirt and they just threw it in there. But it has none of the parts, and I couldn't find a listing of any of the parts that are required to actually make it function.
You should talk to Neo about
Should
that.
I?
Yes.
Well, okay then.
Because he was part of the AMD project, which is what all of the components were for.
All right.
I have no idea if he still has the list or anything, but if there's anyone that we know,
or would at least be a good
who
person
might.
to, yeah.
Then it would be him. Ow.
So, what was your first hope then? Was your first hope the Last Hope?
Yes, that was my first time going to a Hope. I do have badges from earlier Hopes, but
Of course you do. Not surprised by that.
Well, let's start giving away like candy after the event's done.
Yeah.
yeah, and also like if you order stuff from 2600, they will just randomly throw in stuff from old conferences.
Actually,
So I have an armband from Hope 5. I have the punch card badges from, I think it was H2K2.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me, I think I've got those up here. Yeah, there's my Hope 5 armband.
Very nice.
There you go.
Somewhere up there I've got more stuff, but can't get to it right now.
We should
It's not
start
the
a
most
con.
accessible shelf.
We should
What?
start a con where everyone has to wear rare earth magnet boots, and the whole thing will be held upside down.
Speaking of weird cons, actually, I had been thinking about an idea that somebody else had mentioned a long time ago on the podcast, actually, about having remote attendance at conferences.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I was thinking
Cool.
about it, and I think what you could probably do is, because most conferences stream events anyway,
Mm-hmm.
you could probably set up, like, you get a couple of computers and then you rent, like, the space in a community college for a weekend.
Hmm.
Like, because they have, like, you know, lecture-sized auditorium rooms, and then you get a space for people to mingle and maybe a vendor hall, and then you could just have live streams in different rooms for each of the talks. And I think that actually might be relatively feasible as far as...
I want to do a con where all the speakers are remote.
So everybody's
like
just
telecon.
like... Yeah. So, like, everybody just is like, okay, and then Skyping in from his golden helicopter above his mansion, here is
Yeah.
Elon Musk to talk about why flamethrowers are awesome.
That. I mean, as much as Elon Musk likes to hear himself talk, I don't. That may be a little bit ambitious, especially for a first-year con. But you know, why? You know, shoot for the stars, I guess.
I guess.
Then if you shoot for the moon, I think the same. Because then if you miss, you'll land up outside of orbit and float on forever.
I think it's shoot for the stars, and if you miss, you'll still end up in the moon.
I thought it was on the moon, and then you'll end up in the stars.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Because I don't think that's how that works.
To get to a star, so instead you're just kind of floating through the void, and then you die. It's probably the more nihilistic approach, I guess, of it. But
Probably.
that's what you get for aiming high. But at least you tried.
Being a nihilist?
Of being in space, outside
Space.
of Earth's orbit, no hope of returning home,
Space.
limited air supply,
Space. Gotta go to space. Space.
space.
Space.
Yeah.
Gotta go to space. Space.
Space.
Who do I talk to about swagges?
Excuse me, what?
Swagges.
Swagges?
Yeah. Oh,
What are
okay.
swag-
Swag.
What are swagges? They are swag badges. Let me show you my swag collection.
Oh. This is the first time I've heard this.
Yeah, this is a new one for me.
But I'm digging it. It's very descriptive.
Oh.
Serves this purpose well. Hey, I had that same DerbyCon backpack. I think that's the DerbyCon backpack. Actually, no, I'm not too sure.
I'm actually curious what piece of luggage ShmooCon was giving away this year.
Yeah, that I do not know. You know who could answer for you? Twitter. Twitter is up 24/7.
This is true. But that would mean trying to rearrange which window this podcast is in, and that gets
Right.
iffy.
So, I feel like there's a swag that I'm missing, but I don't know which one it would be. Night Classic. No, I guess not. Alright, so this is a swag.
Mm-hmm.
It runs on 2 AA's.
Okay.
And honestly, it communicates with a central server, so if I put in batteries, it's probably not going to do anything terribly exciting. But I'm going to put batteries in anyway. So... Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
So the only
I think
thing
Sorry.
you can see, it's very, if it will
Give it a
focus.
second to focus here. It's
Go
not
ahead.
happening.
That's
Back it
not
up a little bit.
focusing. Yeah.
Yeah, back it up a little bit.
A little bit more.
Otherwise, it's too faint. Let me.
Well, if you keep moving it, it's
There we
never
go.
gonna. Okay.
So you
I
see,
just saw.
No. We can see that there's writing there. We cannot see what the writing says.
that you don't need to see.
Well,
He
then
was showing
why
me
it
the
says-
lights. I saw the lights.
It says, "Hey, we
That's all.
worked hard on that sticker. Put it back." It's supposed to have like my name on it. But you can see that it's off network, so it's very dimly glowing red.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And what's actually supposed to happen if I had the appropriate firmware on these, so it's got an ESP 8266 mod Wi-Fi chip, and it'll occasionally get really bright if I wait long enough. But essentially, it's supposed to connect to a server, and then when each button press gets sent to the server, and then it takes those and then sends back what it's supposed to do with like the lights. And you can do some interesting stuff with those. Pretty cool. Actually, it's not this one that's supposed to have the special firmware. It's really hard to get the batteries out, too. Also, there is some traces on here that aren't so nice to deal with, so people ended up cutting themselves kind of a lot. So Charles Lohr and some other people worked on those for MagFest, and they did a panel on it that's relatively interesting. And then this is the Mag Labs swag. So it has different.
I thought the other one was MagLab.
Holy crap, Rayovac?
No, it's
No, I didn't
Oh, that
know
was
that
MagFest.
Rayovac still made batteries.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Well, that was a swag that.
No, that was the battery that fell. So this one was actually
Oh,
MagFest. So this one was MagFest. I don't know. It's not listed, actually. It was not this last MagFest, but the one before that. This one is actually the MagLab swag. And you can see it says MagLabs staff.
Staff.
Yeah.
Fancy.
No gods or kings, only Mag. And then when I finally, let's see if I can pull this off. So you can see it's got 4 lights, one at each corner, and it has kind of the same similar setup where you have up, down, left, right,
A/B start.
A, B, and then select and starter down here. And then...
Oh, I was.
yeah,
I
no,
was
it does.
making a reference to the Contra code, but there
Yeah,
you go.
no, well, that's what the thing is. It's up, down, left, right, and then A, B, and then select start, and then
Oh wow! Look at that.
it does actually have one. This one has the same ESP8266 mod chip, and it occasionally tries to connect to the server, and it doesn't work. Now, there was a new version of the firmware that was supposed to get pushed and didn't get pushed, where if it couldn't connect to the network after a long enough time, it would actually just start broadcasting its own network, and then you could go and fuck around with it by connecting to it on like your phone or something and going to a web page. I don't know if that one ever actually came to fruition either.
So basically, send it continuous deauths until it spawns its own network.
Something like that. Yeah.
Got it.
Well, it looks for a specific wireless network, and if that network doesn't exist,
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything.
Well, then it'll spawn its own.
Yeah. And then there's actually more parts of this. There's a couple of extra. So there's a shield that can go here that's like a screen or speakers. And then there's actually like a VR kind of a thing that they got the parts for, but they didn't get a chance to like ship them to the factory to have them attached. So they you could get them, but then you had to solder them yourself, and there you can see that's something that's really hard to work with. Because you have to through holes like that, and if you're not good at soldering, you're not going to have a great time.
No, you are not.
So, and then they had a swag for Mag West. And then...
I think we all might be looking for excuses to say the word swedge now.
Yes.
Now that it's entered our lexicon. It's a good word.
It is
very
it's a
catchy.
great word. You can also go to swag.com.
Oh, and here I thought this was something you coined.
No, it is something that we coined. Swag.com is owned by the MagFest people. Well, some of them.
Oh, I meant you as an individual.
No.
Okay.
No.
Got it.
What's a swag? MagFest swagges are electronically festival swag badges.
When you read that, I could hear the trademark symbol in your voice.
And that's how you know that I'm, a radio broadcaster. Yep, made in Maryland. by
Improved.
MagFest.
Swedges. Not for consumption of minors.
This isn't good.
What's not good?
I'm getting no airflow through my new coil.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
No, it's not. It's annoying.
Check the vents. Check
No, it's the... I had to fall back and use the RBA, and I...
Okay.
have a vague suspicion that I may have packed the cotton wrong.
Packed
Yeah,
the
that's-
cotton wrong? Cotton?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in RBA atomizers for vape mods,
Okay.
instead of coming like pre-assembled, you build it yourself.
Okay.
What was it? RBA's rebuildable something?
I don't know. Something.
I'm
probably.
pretty sure rebuildable or buildable is in there somewhere. So you use a very specific, fairly expensive type of cotton, and you coil the wire yourself and everything. And the difficulty is that you have to pack it all just right with like just the amount of density. Too dense and it's not gonna atomize and let the air flow through it, and too loose and it's not going to atomize at all. So.
Yep.
But I've never done it, precisely because of issues like that, where I'm just like, I'm positive I would never be able to get it right.
Yeah, well, I kind of don't have a choice at the moment, so...
Yeah, right, right. I do understand that. It's so strange that they only last for about a week or two, though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
have
in
ones that
theory you can do
last
that
about a
whole
month or
thing
two.
to clean them, but...
How does that work out?
I don't know, I haven't tried it yet.
Mm.
This is the first coil that I've, like, really gotten to the point where it gives that burnt,
Right,
I'm done flavor.
right, yeah. Where it just tastes like copper. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's never a good taste.
No, it's not.
Regis, what are you doing?
I'm
What are you
reading
doing?
about how to get my swag from this previous MagFest. Sorry.
I thought I felt like you were about to say Swag from the Past, and I was like, that sounds like a movie title.
It will be. It will be.
You should put a cute little short together and play at one of the Magfests.
There you go.
It'll be
You
good.
could you could embed it on the Swedge itself.
There you go.
It's if I can get my Swedge to support GIFs. I think I can. I think this is badge
I feel like at that
enhancement
point-
module. Swedge.com/enhance. Let's see, what do I have to do?
I think at that point, like, one of the video codecs might even fit better than a GIF for something that short.
Yeah, probably. Alright, so break each pin connector into a 6-pin and a 5-pin piece. Insert the pin connectors into each other. Rubber band together the badge enhancement module on top of the pins, ensuring to line up the pins with the badge.
Is this official documentation
Yes.
from the vendor?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Solder the corner pins on, then remove the rubber band. Then solder the remaining pins. Repeat with the back of the badge. Trim off the paper ends of your resistors. Bend the resistors and slot them into the module. Then following the color codes printed on the module, then solder it. Slot the LCD screen into the module and solder it to the module.
I thought
There
you
you
said
go.
sloppy LCD screen.
No. Slot the LCD screen.
Well, it was like, you don't really want to get sloppy when dealing with, like,
No.
electronics.
No.
Nope.
Although,
Now you end up
really,
needing
if we're
to buy
being honest,
another
I
part.
think they could use the word module more often.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yes.
8 out of 10, not enough module. Would
The
have
good
given it a
module
6,
brought-
but the use of the rubber band brought it up to an 8.
I'm kind of confused. So I think it comes with two.
Oh, good, I'm not the only one.
Two resistors.
Uh-huh.
Resistors, electricity can flow in either direction across a resistor. Like, it's not like a diode where it's very specific where it has to go in one direction, right?
Usually?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, that's my
Okay.
recollection.
I don't know, I'm just confused. Bend the resistors, slot them into the module, find the color codes printed on the module. And it tells you, it says
Oh.
yellow, purple, red, gold. Which should tell you what kind of resistor it is. But, like, makes it seem like it has to be in a specific order.
Well, are both resistors the same
Yes.
resistance? Oh. Well, then, yeah, that is just kind of pointless.
It seems weird to me.
It is.
I will trust them, and I will follow instructions whenever
But aren't you curious
Following
because
instructions.
I mean, I can't get another one, so no. In this instance, I'm not curious.
Well, if anything
I
would
fuck-
blow, it would be the resistor or a capacitor, but I don't think it even has capacitor.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but it's got a little baby LCD screen in it, so I don't want to fuck up the LCD screen.
Uh-huh.
Accident. I don't need scissors to open this. I'm just
Well, everything's a terrible mess now.
everything is a
I
terrible
mean-
mess always.
You could just ground it out without even hooking up the LCD screen.
That's the tiniest little LCD screen.
That is
That is
very
quite
tiny.
Little bit.
That is almost too tiny to be useful.
It kind
Then
of
again, I'm an old man and I don't see so well these days. So
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Need help? Go to Makerspace.
This is
LCD.
actually quite nice.
It's a very pleasant shade of purple. I like it. It's good.
You don't see too much purple PCB these days.
There should be more.
Hard to pronounce, too.
Yeah, maybe that might be why. Could never order them.
Yeah. People keep stuttering.
Like, what kind of PCB do you want? That sounds made up.
Per beast. Oh, son of a bitch.
Purple PCB. Say that 10 times fast. Purple PCB.
Purple
Purple
PCB.
PCB. Purple PCB. Purple PCB. Purple.
See, I feel like now that I don't try and say it, it's easier.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
I mean, that's the way it usually happens.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Ah. Crap. I think at this point I really should just replace these scissors.
Should you?
Well,
You should.
I've had them for like 20 years.
That's a very long time to have this comparison. Technology has improved.
And I've got, like, there's some rust spots, there's some, I think that's melted nylon,
Oh my gosh.
and, oh yeah, here's some binary modeling putty.
Beautiful.
That was from a set of, like, a little desk set that I got.
Totally off topic. Do you guys remember? And because I have a terrible memory, I can't remember which kind it was either. But do you remember when they did a like an analog TCP recreation using like black and white marbles?
No.
Something like that. Oh my
What?
gosh. The throughput was something like I want to say like 8 bytes a minute.
Well, yeah, if you're hand sorting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd have to.
Yeah.
It's you know, unless you like tried to OCR it, I guess, but that'd be too
Well,
sensitive.
why
Shadows would
wouldn't you?
fuck it up.
OCR, that's like the perfect thing to OCR.
Not well, yeah. I guess it wouldn't be OCR. It would be color selling.
Computer
or something, whatever it's
vision.
called. Yeah, yeah.
It all
it's same
falls
Something,
Something-
something, use
Yeah.
OpenCV.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what it boils down to, exactly.
But I mean, really, you just focus a camera on a caddy that all of the marbles fit into, and it just has to classify light or dark.
Yeah, or I mean, you could even do that on coming in. It would just have to hold them in memory somehow.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like everybody knows they recreated the fuck is it? RFC 1411.
The TCP over avian carrier. Yeah.
Avian carrier. Like everyone knows they did that. But I thought like taking it to that more ridiculous step of like, let's use marbles and send them down a hallway. Like, it's
Yeah,
so
that's
ridiculous.
it is.
I mean, so have you guys ever? There's a YouTube channel where the guy, the video that he became, I'm gonna say more well known for, was
Oh, the marble races.
No, it was like talking about ridiculous things you can do with OpenCV and code. The guy made the guy who did installing Doom on my Porsche 911. You guys have seen that video, right?
I have seen gifs
I've
of
heard
it.
Yeah, I've seen reference to it, but I don't think I've actually seen it.
Oh,
Pull it up right now.
it's the best 3.5-minute video of installing Doom on anything. He has a whole series of things that he does on with Doom.
That's amazing.
How to mod your Porsche 911 or other car to run Doom in 3 easy steps. Anyway, so he has a pretty good set of videos. But the one that I was thinking was Green Gatorade Computer Vision Hackathon Project.
Oh, the one right before it. It's like,
Yeah. Where,
oh, I've seen his toaster one.
oh, the how to
mod
mod
your
any
toaster.
toaster to control PC games in 3 easy steps.
Yeah, how to mod any toaster. And then right before it, PyToast, a mechanical Python emulator in a toaster.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But the Green Gatorade Computer Vision Hackathon Project is pretty much he just sets it up so that the fridge will tell him if there is green Gatorade in the fridge or not before he gets out of his desk. And I'm pretty sure he's being serious, but like the one for the Porsche 911, I'm pretty sure that he's trolling.
Yeah, I'm sure that I think the toaster Doom one is fake too, but
Oh, the Toaster Doom
it
one is
doesn't make it
definitely
any less
fake.
funny.
Oh, it's
It
hilarious.
doesn't make it any less funny, yeah. But the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking of like how to actually make it real, and I figure like if you have
But with a
some,
toaster?
yeah, if you put some contacts at the bottom between the where the handle hits the stop for it.
I'm not even sure you have to do that much. It depends on how the toaster's actually...
Oh, you mean like just seeing if there's current going to the coils or not?
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
you could probably do that, right? Just see
Yeah,
if the
'cause
circuit
there's
is
always-
completed.
Yeah, exactly. It's a switch. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you have to alter the toaster. You just need to... Like, maybe
Plug
you
in-
should
need to
probably...
tap into the coils,
You just
yeah.
need to
Yeah,
get
well,
a way to
so
read
just
the state of the
cut
toaster
the
as
coils
the
out
usable.
so that you don't accidentally like.
Set
unless
fire.
unless you're like, oh yeah, you know what would be really great? Let me make toast while I'm playing Doom. That sounds phenomenal.
Look, I think you can time it so if you're a speedrunner, by the time you get to hell, the toaster will actually be on fire. That'd be pretty metal.
That would be
I'm all about
the
that.
most metal thing that I've ever. So he has a playlist that's called Mildly Amusing Uploads.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, no, it does. He has another. Yeah, okay.
Always have wet naps.
It's pretty.
That's good life
This
advice.
is a little life tip.
Yeah.
Always have wet naps.
Programming projects miscellaneous, Window Tetris, Green Gatorade Computer Vision Hackathon, Warcraft 3 Tetris.
What?
I'm not 100% sure. My device controls house lights via internet or phone.
I know there's somebody who intentionally exposed that to the internet as like this experiment, like a social experiment kind
yeah.
of thing. I'm wondering if that was him.
I don't know. Internet garage door opener prototype. Frustration Tetris. Yeah. Kernel window manager and networked Pong.
Network Pong.
Tetris 2D platformer hybrid prototype. Internet controlled stepper motor. Arduino internet controlled transistor relay test. I don't know. That reminds me of Nick God used to joke about making IRC controlled robot. I'm gonna go with robot. I think it was technically a vibrator, which is pretty amusing.
But they have apps for that now.
Yeah,
They just happen
sure,
to be
but
terribly insecure and also not.
I mean, I think at that point, for what he's trying to do, it would be a feature because he wanted it to be controlled by IRC. So
Yeah. So what happens during a channel flood then?
I don't think he ever got that far.
All of a sudden, like 60 bots join the channel and start spamming different commands.
No, what's gonna happen
Vibrator
is
starts
you'll
smoking.
what was it? There's some guy on 2600net that his name is, it's like Scout followed by a bunch of numbers. I don't really pay attention, but he'll connect and then he'll start talking to everybody in the channel. Like he'll PM everybody in the channel with a DCC, XDCC list, XDCC connect. Like he's trying to see who's a bot. So there's a bot that's looking for other bots. It's really annoying. I think actually, now that I'm thinking on it, I can at least from the Radio Statler channel like ban them.
There you go.
That would be good.
Are you just watching Doom videos now?
No,
Oh,
I got distracted by Twitter.
that will happen.
Twitter distracted you from Doom. Hey, Night Owl, you should play Doom with the System Administrivia guys in Beaches next time we play.
Yes. Yes, I should.
Oh man, people are retweeting your tweet about your voter bill printer.
Oh, I know.
Yep. I should hope.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed when I said my printer was only vulnerable to SMB and LPR attacks. Wait, does that mean since WannaCry is based off an SMB vulnerability, Does that track
Yeah.
or no?
No. It's my printer specifically does not appear to be vulnerable to WannaCry, but it does have limited SMB capabilities.
Mm.
So there are all the other SMB attacks that may be successful against my printer.
Actually,
Really,
now would be a good time
the
to
LPR vulnerability. Yeah, I'm gonna do that now.
check. And I'm also gonna check to see if I can disable SMD on my printer because that has me a little bit worried now. I mean, I have no reason to, but like, fucking A, like,
Yeah.
flashing firmware on a printer is much more of a pain in the ass. Even flashing like UEFI, you know. So if that gets caught, I don't. That's a solid 2 hours. I don't know. Not 2 hours. It's like 45 minutes. But
I feel like there's something I was going to do. I remember one thing he was going to do.
oh,
Nope. It is vulnerable to the WPA2 vulnerabilities, though.
oh, the crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only advisory they have posted for this model.
Wow.
Alright, so...
I cannot disable SMB.
You can't?
Nope.
That sucks.
I can disable it putting out its own AP, which is nice, I guess, but I can't disable SMB.
That's no good.
Maybe I should write to HP and be like, hey,
Listen
I'm
here,
one guy.
asshole. Let
and
me
I
tell
definitely
you.
don't buy your shit in bulk, but I've got a suggestion.
So,
Let me turn off SMB. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, maybe
what
just
what
disable
version of SMB does it run?
I don't know. Let me nmap it.
Because that's the more important thing.
Yeah, let's nmap it.
Because if it's running SMB1, that's not good.
Right.
Also be careful when you're nmapping it.
Right. Right.
don't accidentally
'cause-
run Scan Cannon.
Well, you don't even need to run Scan Cannon. HP printers have a very, very long-running thing where certain nmap scan flags will cause them to go Cyrillic.
Oh.
Wait, permanently?
No,
Or just print
just
a
for
bunch
like an hour or so.
That's even better. Okay, great. I don't plan on printing.
Certainly
in an
long
hour
enough
anyway.
to run through your toner and paper supplies.
Fair enough. It's close enough. I can just power it off if I need to. Start
Yeah,
spinning out a
but I
bunch.
mean, you got to power it off, like unplug it from the wall to
Like a
get it to flush the
30,
volatile
yeah.
memory, and then like wait half an hour.
probably wait for the low volt to clear too.
Yeah. Because
Well, now I'm excited. Now I kind of want that to happen.
I forget what flag it is. I actually used to know off the top of my head. Because I discovered this years ago.
Mhm.
I think when I still had an OfficeJet K60. I hated that thing so much.
What K series is?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. No, that was like the first multifunction inkjet that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not the first, but
First line, yeah.
but pretty early on. And the thing that I hated about it was actually just the fact that it only had a sheet feed scanner. and the feeder could only handle one page at a time. So it was just, yeah, and it was just this whole, like, eventually I figured out how to time inserting the next page just right. Because ostensibly it was supposed to be able to feed multiple pages. But but it had a tendency to just grab several pages at once and try to pull them in, and then it would jam or whatever.
Were you using like Xerox paper or something, like copier paper? Or...
No, I've always used like 24 pound paper.
Oh wow, that's so weird that it would grab that big.
Yeah.
I bet if
it
if you knocked on the rollers a little bit, loosened them up a little.
I don't know. I haven't had that thing for.
Yeah.
That was like 4 printers ago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised you still don't have it, but I would be surprised if it was still running.
Yeah. No. I forget what it was that prompted me to finally get rid of it. I think it may have just been that the ink cartridges for it finally got so expensive that it became cheaper to buy a new printer.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I had whatever I replaced that with for a while. Then I had, I think it was an OfficeJet 3600, something like that. I used that for a really long time, and actually the thing that forced me to replace it with the one I have now is that it ran out of ink one day, so I opened it up to check what cartridges it took, and the hinges snapped.
Oh no.
Because it had this really weird design where you had to open up like the entire scanner bed, the entire scanner section, you had to lift up in order to get to the ink cartridges.
Yep.
And so I had it sitting on this really high shelf, and I reach up and I just hear this pop. And I go and I take the cartridges and I put them back in and I try to close the thing, and I realize that like one side is riding up like this.
That's not good.
And I'm like, that's not right.
That.
So I'm like, well, okay. And I turned to my spouse because we were trying to print something before we went to an event where we needed a whole bunch of printed material. Like, well, the good news is we don't need to worry about what printer cartridges this thing takes.
Right.
The bad news is we need a new printer. So we went down to Staples and bought this thing, and
What was it, a radio system?
it was not a radio Staples.
Okay, so my NMAT came back.
Okay.
For those curious, I used dash capital P capital N, dash lowercase p hyphen for all port ranges, and then a dash A for service discovery. So let's see. So on port 80, oh, it's serving a robots.txt. Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't want to be Googled.
I mean, that's a good thing,
Well,
right?
Wait.
to be fair,
Wait.
I don't know that.
Wait.
I didn't read the robots.txt yet, so.
You should do that, because now I'm really curious if this is HP's fix for their printers being publicly discoverable when they're connected.
Alright, let's see if I can go ahead and grab it.
Because I'm really the only thing I can think of that would make sense for why you would serve a robots.txt from your printer is to stop Weave from finding it with some Google dorking.
Okay, that is correct. It is user agent asterisk disallow slash. So,
Yeah, so just disallow anything.
Not that that has ever stopped Yandex or anything, but whatever.
Well, no.
Cheap pot shots. Okay, and it is apparently running.
Yandex is asking for it.
That's true. The Verada M web server, release 6.2.1, and GSOAP 2.7 on 4.4.3 TCP wrapd, or TCP wrapped, I guess, is how I pronounce it. Also robust subtext, same thing. SSL cert, common name, model number, and then organization name HP. Not valid before 2017-0701. Not valid after 2027-0701. Okay. I'm almost positive that's going to be invalid. Port 515 TCP, port 631 TCP, SOAP is running as well. That's 631 is, I think, the cups like interaction, net sockets or whatever the fuck they call it.
LPR?
3910 is also. Does LPR on 631?
Well, I think that's what cups uses.
I think, yeah, maybe. I know.
Line
Cups
printer
is
remote,
cool.
right?
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like it would say like, oh no, because we use the service.
515, I think, actually, for LPR.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It says printer as the service, so.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably up there. So whatever 631 is, I think that's. Pretty sure that's cups. And they have their own way of doing things. Okay, and that's also running via GSOAP. An actual SOAP service is running on 3910. And it apparently
you
does not have a
said
signal.
it was running something on 631?
Yes.
Okay, that is IPP.
IPP, yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's
There we
IPP,
go.
not LPR.
Yeah.
LPR and LPD are on 515.
Okay, got it. Apparently, it is serving XML on 3910. So let's see what that is.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Why?
It is
Because
indeed
fuck
running
you,
XML.
that's why.
Oh, that is direct. That is directly to the SOAP interface. All right, great. Okay. Let's see. 3911 is TCP wrapped again. I don't know what that is. I'm not getting anything beyond that. 8080 is, I presume, just an alternate interface to the normal web interface. 8289 is also running SOAP. 8291 is unknown. 8295 is also running SOAP. Serving XML again. Jet Direct, of course, on 9100. And 53048 is also serving that XML. That is like twice the amount of open ports compared to my previous model. Why all the SOAP interfaces? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
guess if you have like one of those HP management servers,
Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
But then why like, was that like 8 ports that are dedicated to? Why that many?
Yeah, I don't know enough about that protocol to...
Why would you need SOAP for a printer? It's just, why
It
does
gives
the printer
users
need
the
that interface?
features that they want. It allows the enterprise to do enterprise things.
Really? That's news.
One assumes. I don't know. I don't know.
It's got what
okay,
enterprises
well.
crave?
So apparently on 3910 it's expecting a post.
Huh.
Because in the XML I'm getting a HTTP GET method not implemented. So it probably wants a post or a put. Which is interesting.
What's that port again?
3910.
Oh. Oh, that should be for the web jet admin.
Dude, I'm sorry, you broke up. The what?
HP Web Jet Admin.
See, it gives enterprises what they want.
Here. You know.
All right, let's see here. Web Jet Admin. Uses ICMP to determine if it's active. You can't just check the link state?
Apparently not.
Okay.
That makes too much sense.
But it uses TCP 3910 and 3911 to retrieve print requests and
it says
printer status. It also uses that for web service discovery.
Yeah. This is very interesting. Now I want to just start hammering my printer. You know?
Yep. Now that's what we should do for the next episode.
Yeah. In real time. Watch as I stream me fuzzing each port on the printer in succession.
Sounds like
Why
fun.
not?
Yeah. No, we'll
Sounds
just
like
do
fun.
an entire episode of us real time bone scanning your printer.
There you go. Oh my gosh. I can even give you guys VPN access to it. And all three of us hit it at once.
You can cover the ports 3 times as quickly that way.
Exactly. You can break it up into ranges, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you can take these ports.
I mean that's basically what we did at, was it Hope 10? Was it Hope 10 or Hope 11 where we tried to scan the entire internet? Because people weren't using enough bandwidth.
I think it was probably Hope 11, and yes, use
That-
more bandwidth. More bandwidth. No, really,
Yeah.
more bandwidth.
I remember that.
That was great.
Yeah,
like
no, 'cause
multiple
Hope 10
10
They
gig.
we
had some
actually,
fun stuff. I do
because
remember.
Hope 10 we actually did run short of bandwidth at one point.
Did we?
Oh, nice.
Well, it was because everyone was trying to simultaneously stream the keynote.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the thing was that we didn't have a server on the local network to serve them,
Ooh.
so they had to go out. So
To the
the
WAN.
recording team had to send their video out
Yeah.
to the
They would
streaming
all
server,
come back.
and then everyone watching it was then retrieving it from that streaming server. So it wasn't the fact that we ran out of capacity on the LAN side, it was that we choked the gateway.
Yeah. I thought they had multiple gateways, but I guess not.
Hope X, I think we just had the single 10 gig connection.
That sounds right to me.
And then I think Hope
it was.
11, yeah. And then Hope 11, I think, was the one where we had multiple distinct
I
connections.
definitely knew they had it for Hope 11. Yeah, because that was like, we learned our lesson. Fuck that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think Hope 11 was the one where it's like, okay, no, we've got too much now.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I just remember during the closing
No, wait, which was the one where
ceremonies-
we were randomly getting assigned IPv4 addresses from the Netherlands?
It wasn't randomly.
Well, yeah, it wasn't random, but it was... We did not...
Did someone
Go out
GRE
of a-
trunk in or something?
No. So what
No,
happened is that
something where...
Okay, so for Hope, every host gets a public IP address,
Mhm.
which means it has to come from an actual IP block, and so people donated IP ranges to be used.
Okay.
And one of them was an IP range that was in the Netherlands or something like that.
Yeah.
And because Google uses your IP address and stuff, or a lot of services use your IP address to figure out where the fuck you're coming from, and then redirects you to the local site, a lot of people were like, ended up like, why the fuck is all of my shit in Dutch?
Yeah.
Well, because Google thinks you're in the Netherlands. I don't know what else to tell you.
Except
Google.com/NCR.
Yeah.
Perfecto. No country redirect. Just keep it Google.com.
Yeah, that was fun. It's like, wait, why is everything suddenly in this? Oh, right. Suddenly redirecting me to the .nl version of everything. Freaky. I'm gonna bump the wattage up.
We're having concerts next year, right?
Usually.
This year?
Yeah, this year. Sorry.
I know.
I have no idea
2018
because
already. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, you guys would know better than I would, but I don't see
No.
why they wouldn't.
I never know until they publish the schedule.
Same.
I think you. My point is, I think you pay more attention to when the schedule comes out than I do.
Well, that's
Yeah, that's
that
probably
is
true.
quite possible.
Yeah.
Um,
But I
yeah,
mean,
I'm not
they've
sure.
happened
I'm
in
not
the
sure
past.
who's organizing them though now.
That's a good question. Who organized them last year?
I don't know because it used to be Gus, and I think she stopped.
No, Gus stopped.
Not last. She stopped before last.
Yeah,
Before
last
last
year
time.
was from somebody else.
Was someone else, and I don't know who took it over.
Tamara.
Oh. Because if we could make it so that I don't keep getting my show bumped to live cast the concert.
Your show usually doesn't get bumped necessarily.
It
There's
has like
just a
3
huge-
times.
Well, so they are supposed to stop at 2 a.m. and we're supposed to be able to switch. Usually what ends up happening is it's still so loud that even though you guys are on the stream, you can still hear the concerts from...
Right.
the
No, that
resident
happened. That happened several times, but there were also like 3 times where we got bumped by at least an hour
area.
to make room to cast the to broadcast the concert.
I
And
don't remember-
that was before they started the okay, we'll pretend to stop at 2 thing. That was when they didn't start until like 2.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember any of that. I don't think I was in charge of anything there.
Yeah, no, that was
I
usually
remember-
Nick God.
Yeah, and that's usually because I think Gus would make a big stink out of.
Yeah.
And actually, that's something that might be nice to talk with Nick God about, is if there's a way that we could archive the concerts by themselves and record the whole thing, so then Concerts is happy, because they have a recording of everything, but then be able to switch at 2 a.m. So you could just have it, a local recording copy of it that can be posted to the internet, regardless of, like, whenever the fuck
Because,
they're done,
I
it's
mean-
done, and it's whatever.
Because I just have to say that the hosts of my show are getting on in years, and we actually have to sleep occasionally now.
Occasionally, yeah.
So, finishing our show before dawn is nice, especially if we have to speak that day.
Definitely. Yeah.
And we've been going for a good few hours now.
Have we? We've been talking. We've been recording for a couple hours.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like a couple is more than a few.
Yeah.
No,
No.
a few is-
A few is
couple
3 or more.
legitimately two.
A
Few
couple
three
is
or more.
2.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
coupled
All
is
right.
legitimately exactly 2.
Yes. A few, then it goes to several, then it goes to many.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there needs to be some sort of the jump between several and many. I feel like is too large. We need some sort of intermediate there.
No, several is.
What about where does a sizable amount fit in?
I think that's
More
once you
than
get.
many.
Yeah.
That's bigger than many.
Sizable amount doesn't really enter into that hierarchy.
What about a negligible amount?
That would be less than 2.
Negligible, sizable, and shitload.
What about does shit ton then come after or before shitload?
I had this debate in college. Yeah, after.
After? Okay.
Yeah.
Because then you also get metric and imperial shit tons.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
First one, then the other. Of course.
Then also you get the long shit ton.
Sure.
The Troy shit ton.
Oh my gosh. I need sleep.
Okay.
It's getting ridiculous.
Your face is getting
The
ridiculous.
kilo shit ton.
I don't even
Mega
know my
shit
face.
ton.
Mega shit ton. Yeah. What would it be described as when there is so much that it has its own gravitational orbit? Its own gravitational.
Giga shit tons.
Giga shit ton.
Oh, I fucked those up.
I'm actually not sure what level of mass is necessary to create an appreciable gravity well. So,
Yeah, I mean technically we have our own.
well, yeah, it's
Pretty
just
cool,
that
but
it's so
it's
weak
so tiny,
relative
yeah.
to
It's
the
negligible.
It's negligible. It's a negligible amount, exactly. Yeah, I started saying it and I was like, well, wait. It's not one gravity. It's not 1g.
right.
So I think that's.
I mean,
where-
1G is just an arbitrary measure based on our customary environment.
Sure, but it's sort of the metric that we use specifically for gravity because
Well, yeah.
it's what we know. So
Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing like astrophysics, then you
It's
have a whole
really-
different set of measurements.
probably some kind of measurement of pool in kilograms per second or something.
Yeah.
Beaches, what are you doing?
We're
We're trying to have a lively discussion about gravity here.
We are.
I'm actually.
You're not participating.
Yeah.
No, I am sending you event invitations
Oh,
Oh.
well.
Okay.
to show you that you are in fact in the calendar.
There you go.
Sorry,
So
it's
you're-
now it's become real, and I'm like, oh fuck. Radio Statler needs to happen. Shit. Speaking of, I'm making an assumption, Brent, but yes or no that System News Trivia wants to do a thing.
Yeah, we'd love to. We'd be honored.
Okay. I haven't pinged Nick God, but if you send an email to myself or I think if you do radio@hope.net, that'll do it too.
I'm sure I can find an address to send it to. Yeah.
You can, just you can shoot an email until the tool's up, and that's okay.
Okay.
And then that'll be a thing. Side Pocket also said he's working and has some exciting stuff planned. I have some exciting stuff planned, so I'm gonna have to sit down and have a powwow with him.
Well, that's intimidating. I can't guarantee we'd have something exciting planned, but
Well,
ideally, if we could make Jathan die on air this year, that'd be fantastic. I told you about my idea for the treadmill thing, right? We'd have like a charity event
Yes.
and make him run on a treadmill for like X minutes every Y hundreds of dollars we got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I really want to do that, but I need to find a charity first. So
I mean, honestly, instead of doing games, that sounds like a good cause or a good thing to do as a live stream for
Extra Life.
Extra Life. Yeah.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I would have to fly out to Colorado though, so.
It'd be easier to fly him in.
Right? Because like all of us are closer to this area.
Exactly.
And he's the odd man out here, so.
Though, at some point in the future, I actually want to do my own Extra Life thing. I'm going to turn off all of my lights, close my blinds, have some underlighting, and play Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Oh, that'd be cool.
With headphones on. I've never played Amnesia: The Dark Descent before, and I
haven't either, but
I'm really shit at horror games.
Really?
Really shit at horror games.
Super jumpy.
Yep.
I would plug the hell out of that.
There are people that are pushing for this. It's just so far I haven't had enough time to make it happen.
That's what suffering brings the money in.
I would expect, yeah.
And honestly, if my show can make Jathan suffer for money towards a good cause, all the better.
Aw, don't be so mean to Jathan.
No, it's a win-win. He has it coming.
He has quite the potential to have a budding musical artist career. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I have actually heard some of the stuff he's done. That doesn't necessarily mean that I don't want him to exhaust himself on a treadmill, especially if it's for charity. So.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'll talk to the guys and we'll come up with something.
Okay. All right.
It most likely will not be the treadmill stuff.
So, just because we really should have talked about this. Stratva.
Stratva?
Strava? Strava.
Oh yeah, I saw that floating by.
Fitness and social media company that apparently does like Fitbit tracking and stuff. They released an activity heat map.
Oh god, yeah, I saw that.
Which it turns out is really handy for locating things like secret military bases.
Okay, so I
including
think this would go
people
without
have
saying.
People have so far found. Let's see. Here's the heat map for people working at GCHQ. Here's the heat map for people working at the U.S. Director of National Intelligence and the National Counterterrorism Center.
Guys,
I always
this is
knew
really easy.
that exercising.
Here's the heat map for the Chinese troops stationed on a disputed island in the South China Sea.
Wait, how do they know they're Chinese? Did they release that metadata?
No, but the Chinese are already known to have deployed military assets to that island in an attempt to claim it.
Got it.
Or enforce their claim. So the fact that there are now these additional maps, this additional data.
Although it could have been worse. It could have been like that particular model was mandated for instance, all staff of that regiment, all members of that regiment to wear. And then you get an idea of size.
Here's one.
As well.
I wonder who's running around this apparently abandoned airfield in Somalia.
Yeah, I saw that.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
For people that are running military operations, why don't you instruct people to just turn off the GPS? Just turn off the GPS on your phone. Just turn it off. Just turn it off. It saves your battery. You don't need it. Just turn it the fuck off.
Yeah. Or,
Life
not
is better when you
using-
just turn it the
not
fuck
using
off.
a Fitbit, not using
Yeah.
a Fitbit while you are.
Or facsimile thereof. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
Like, maybe just don't do that like,
I
do it
can
the
kind of-
old-fashioned way.
I
Count
can-
While
laps.
you're on deployment, don't.
What was that?
What was what?
I don't know. He looked behind him.
Oh.
I was being reminded that I am being very loud at late hour in my apartment.
Yeah, I think it's time that we probably ought to call it. You know what sucks? I don't know what we're going to title this episode.
I feel like if you search within your heart, you're gonna find it.
Well, I'll probably have to rewind. I'm going to upload it tomorrow night, I think.
It could always be a printer-based pun.
Yeah,
I think-
a very large amount of time talking about that.
Well, so the thing is that they're usually not puns.
Yeah, see, I do puns.
You do
Most
puns.
of the times, yeah.
Ours
Like-
are quotations from within the episode. So
Okay.
when you see an episode that's titled something like, where is it?
Really bizarre.
I feel like at least one of them has sex pot in the title.
One of
I would
our
think that.
episodes?
Yeah.
Do you want to bet money on there being a episode
Or an
titled Sex
illusion.
Pop?
Or an illusion. But that would be pretty good for SEO, I would bet. People are all about the sex lots on the YouTubes. I think. Is that
You
a thing?
think? I don't know, man.
I feel like it's a thing.
Is it a thing?
I'm pretty
now?
sure it is a thing.
Let's see. Creator Studio. Let's see. What do we got? Come on. Load the Creator Studio.
It looks so mournful.
Let's see. So you said something about sex bots, right? Let's
Yes.
see. Episode 35, telephone in the bathroom. Episode 34.5, I'm sorry. Episode 34, the murderer was us all along.
I remember that one.
Episode 33, Schrodinger's telecom. Episode
I remember that
32,
one.
it's only mostly dicks. Episode 31, he looks like jailbait. Episode 30, it's not kidnapping if it's consensual. Episode 29.5, cock violations. Cock violations being COC. Code of
COC,
conduct.
yeah. Code
Code
of
of
conduct.
conduct, yes. Episode
Just never
29,
stops being fun.
share Coke with Cooter. Episode 28, Punk Fashion Artificial Intelligence. Episode 27.5, Pod Safe Christmas Song. That's the holiday special.
Mhm.
Episode 27, CIA number fucking 1. Episode 26, Dongs and Casualties. That one is in several parts because I had my OBS misconfigured. Episode 25, 1-800 Shut the Fuck Up. Episode 24, Party Coming, Business Going. This is not a... The panel is Fuck It, We'll Do It Live at Years of Radio Statler. Episode 23, Hope 11, Glory Holes and Ass Shots.
Mm.
Episode 22, Twitter is the new IRC. Episode 21, When is the next hope? Episode 20, Never have a last episode. Episode 19, Only outlaws will have Zambonis.
Yes.
Episode 18, I'm suggesting Johnny whores himself out. Episode 17, Who the fuck is Polly? Episode 16, Anything is a dildo if you're brave enough.
Also true, I guess.
Episode 15, I invited the entirety of the internet. Episode 14, Kind of a Full House. Episode 13, Stop putting your name in the spreadsheet, Johnny. Episode 12.
All it about.
Episode 12, Fingering Ourselves. Episode 11, How does a selfie work? Episode 10, Not a cup I can drink out of. Episode 9, 24-Hour Asians. Episode 8, Bunny swings her big dick. Episode 7, torture porn on the moon. Episode 6, I'm so glad I did this. Episode 5, I have a shoe on my head. Episode 4, stop being an online hooker. Episode 3, I have a paw in my underwear. Episode 2, let's all podcast from our cars. And then episode 1.5, Radio Statler, the podcast.
What happened to 1? Also, I'm severely disappointed that I just lost the bet.
That you just lost the game? Because,
Oh no! That too.
Episode 1 is the lost episode. Before we did Hangouts on Air, we did a session that was with Skype.
Mm-hmm.
And each stream was individually recorded, I don't know, using dark voodoo magic. And then nobody ever just, like, it was like hours and hours and hours of people talking on Skype. And I never ended up with any of the video, and nobody that had the video ended up wanting to edit it. So
Oh no.
it may or may not exist somewhere on somebody's hard disk someplace.
That's crazy.
I should actually talk with Nick God. I think he's the one that has it, and if he has it, I should get it from him, and then I can actually someday, when we don't feel like recording a podcast, we can do that thing where we don't record a podcast, and I just release essentially a clip show from the first episode.
There you go.
Because that was the episode where the train went off in the background. And Johnny was like, was that a soundboard? Or somebody legitimately by the train tracks? And I was like, that was me. The train is over there. It's behind the pizza place.
Now, you have moved since then, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I now live further away from the train tracks.
Got it. Well, more so I was saying we could probably narrow down a bit more. Train tracks near a pizza place.
Oh, yeah, no, I've
One's
definitely
on the
moved
schedule
since
at a
then.
certain time, but got it.
Oh, well, I mean, people would have to know when stuff was recorded and stuff, and it's fine. It was in the mountains someplace in some house I no longer live at.
Okay, there you go.
Like on the other side of the state.
Right. Wasn't there a movie with Vanilla Ice where he listened to like a call from a kidnapper or something, or someone blackmailing or something like that, and he heard like a slight thumping in the background, and somehow he immediately knew that it was like this certain construction site that like he probably never actually would have been to because he was new in town. I'm almost positive this was a thing. That this is a real movie that Vanilla Ice made.
I don't think that it's a movie. I think that it is. What is it? It's not Vanilla. It's not Vanilla. Words are hard. I'm gonna be honest. And I think that's the episode of the title. Words are hard. Right. So what I think it is Law and Order, right?
Oh, they've done that.
Cool as Ice.
Cool as Ice, is that
Cool
the...
as Ice, 1991. That's the movie. That is what I was thinking of. A rap-oriented remake of The Wild One, with heavy emphasis on the fact that Vanilla Ice has assumed the Marlon Brando role.
That
I
sounds
haven't
terrible.
seen the whole thing, but I've seen clips, and it's glorious. It's so bad it's good. It's one of those. Is there a plot?
I hope so. It's a remake with Vanilla Ice.
Yes. The old teen Rebel saga is updated for the rap crowd. Unfortunately, rapper Vanilla Ice is the teen. Oh gosh, I love that. Ice shows up on a neon yellow motorcycle, which gets everyone's attention, including the female honor student who has never had a rebellious bone in her body.
Well,
Ugh.
there's a sex joke in there, let me tell you.
Oh gosh. Anyways, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's absolutely terrible. But there is a scene like that there.
That's that is a unfortunate trope that happens a lot in crime investigation and police procedural
Yeah.
programs. Law and Order has done it way too many times.
I think didn't they even do something like that in Black Mirror, the first episode?
Maybe
The first episode?
Yeah.
Where
the
he
first
fucks
episode.
an
All
egg?
I really remember about is the pig fucking. So
Right.
I mean, how could you remember anything else? Aside
was
from...
great.
and it was mostly
Even I remember
about.
that.
That's also why I don't really watch that show.
No, I promise the rest of it is awesome.
The
Really
first
good.
episode... If
Everyone
you,
keeps saying that.
It really is good. I think that was like we need to create buzz around our show, so we're gonna make the first one super edgy.
Yeah, the thing is that I did try like 1 or 2 episodes after that, and
okay, the only... If you...
it was not a lot better.
I was worried you were about to say I tried fucking a pig because of that show.
No,
I'm glad
no.
you didn't say that.
Yeah,
what...
that's
Okay, so...
not a thing I have tried,
That's good. I think most
and I don't really plan to try that. So
that's good. I think that should be the way to go there.
yeah,
Oh my god.
it seemed the best course of action.
You're right. The most prudent
Not
thing to do
doing that.
would be to not fucking pig. 'Cause-
Yeah,
Okay, so the one... let's see.
Yes.
Playtest.
What?
Series 3, Episode 2, playtest. That would be if I were to tell somebody that they should watch Black Mirror, I would tell them to watch that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cooper leaves his home in America to travel the world, but ends up stranded in England after a banking error. He avoids calling his mom for help as he has been unable to connect with her following his father's death due to early onset Alzheimer's. While staying at the house of a girl he had slept with the previous night, Cooper offers to participate in a playtest of an augmented reality video game. A gadget with the ability to layer lifelike images and sounds into his perception is implanted at the back of his neck, but yeah, okay. I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't give away spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
After the gadget probes his brain for information on the things that scare him, Cooper is left alone in a spooky mansion where he endures some jump scares. Then it gets more interesting from there. Just watch it. That was really good. San Junipero is like the most uplifting Black Mirror episode ever. It's the only one that ends happily. White Christmas is a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hated in the Nation. And I haven't watched anything in Series 4 yet.
It's all right. It's definitely weaker than season 3. I think season 3 has been the peak so far. But although I do of the season 4, Metalhead is the one I enjoyed the most, just because it was shot in an entirely different style.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has a real kind of almost like an art house feel to it, but it's cool. It's cool. I liked Shut Up and Dance because it was another edgy one, and like
that one was.
And I do love like all of the ones where they explicitly focus on like the use of social media to like as this like general controlling force kind of a thing. I just love how they play with that thing a lot. But...
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Shut Up and Dance was a wild and crazy ride.
Yeah, it was. There were no drop offs. It was just all.
It was insanity from start to finish.
Yeah. Like 3 minutes in and just continuous. But yeah, it's I would definitely say it's worth watching the whole series.
Yeah.
I didn't know season 3 was exclusive on Netflix though.
Was it? I thought season 4 was the first one that was exclusive.
No, apparently season 3. I'm looking at. I mean, I'm looking at Wikipedia, so I could be wrong, but.
No, I mean Wikipedia's usually trustworthy.
Yeah.
Trustworthy-ish.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Anyway, I do think I'm gonna call it a day.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out as well. I'm gonna call it a morning because it is 1:40.
I fucked up. What do you mean it's
12:40.
one? It's 12:40.
12:40. It's 12:40. I can do numbers.
Numbers are hard. Okay.
Numbers are hard. That's right. A lot of things are hard. Numbers and words. All right, I'm heading out.
Okay.
See you around.
I'll see you guys.
Bye.
I don't.